Hey! Welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Daith piercing, or in America I'm pretty sure it's called the Daith piercing, but our pronunciation is different, so yeah, the Daith piercing. Let's get into it. I just want to have a little talk about it being called the migraine piercing, and from myself being a piercer, what I know as a piercer and what I don't know as a piercer that people really expect us to know. Yeah, let's get into that and you'll understand what I'm talking about. I also want to talk about some pros and cons of it. Since I'm here, like, we might as well just do that. It is a super cool piercing. You can put some really nice jewelry in there, stuff that wouldn't really have the same effect anywhere else. It gives a really good effect in that spot. It's because it's quite, like, where it goes through, it leaves quite an open area there, so you can put quite large jewelry in there. Some people put like septum clickers in there. You can put the hearts and stars, like different shapes. Some cons is that it can take a long time to heal. It is cartilage, and a lot of people sleep on it because it's not a piercing that's like on the outside of your cartilage, so they think it's fine to sleep on it because, oh, it's not technically touching it, but you're still putting pressure on that area, which then can lead to pressure bumps and blisters. So yeah, I think that's one a lot of people forget about, because Daith piercings are ones that I constantly see just covered in bumps, and it's just gross, like, and they're always like oozing. People just don't take care of them properly, and I think that's another part of the migraine piercing that I want to go into, is the fact that a lot of people are getting them because it's, you know, this miracle cure for the migraine. However, they don't know anything about piercings, and they don't know that piercings take aftercare, and they take a lot of care to get them to a point of healing that is safe to stop looking after them, sort of thing. That certain like earbuds, the ones that go in your ear, they're going to irritate it so much, and another cause of infection and bumps and blisters to your Daith piercing is from wearing them. So alternatives could be the ones that go over your whole ear to prevent that, because if you think about it, you're putting like germs in there constantly and you are touching it then, but also it can irritate it, meaning it might hurt you to put them in there. So yeah, something to think about. Now I'm just going to go into talking about the fact that it's called the migraine piercing, and as a piercer what I think of that and what I know about it. So pretty much a really common question I get is, does this piercing work for migraines, like to rid of migraines? And the answer is a tough one, because it can be yes, definitely. It can help a lot of people. A lot of people can find that, you know, their migraines are completely gone, but majority of people, it's just that they are reduced, like maybe severely reduced or just slightly reduced. And then for others, however, nothing. It doesn't do anything for them. So going on from that is the fact that the reason that the Daith is considered a cure piercing is because you have pressure points in your ears. And as a piercer, so this is something that I do not know, I am not trained in acupuncture, and majority to almost all piercers probably are not trained in acupuncture. So really what we're doing is we're just piercing. Our job is to pierce. We don't know where your pressure points are, and every individual is different for where their pressure points are as well. Also, I believe, as I'm not an acupuncture specialist. Pretty much it's like a wild guess. We're putting it through that spot. We know how to pierce one, but we don't know where your pressure point is. From outside research that I've done myself, just into it to find out, you know, just like so many people come to me and like I tell them straight up, they'll ask, is this gonna cure my migraine? And I'm just like, it may. I don't exactly know, because I know nothing about acupuncture. I'll just tell them. But the thing is, a lot of people haven't gone and educated themselves to find out like what this piercing is going to do. I totally understand it as a means of like, you've tried everything else, you might as well. I definitely think that's like a way to go. Like, if you've tried everything else, go for it, just do it. Because if that's going to be the one thing that gives you relief, then it's worth it, I think. However, some, you know, acupuncturists I'm not sure of the term, I'm so sorry if that's wrong. And doctors and that sort of thing have other things to say about it because they know your body and they know what's right and wrong for it. Some acupuncture specialists and doctors have said that it's pretty much like a band-aid solution. It's overstimulation because you're putting a needle all the way through it and you're holding, you know, a piece of jewelry in there for a prolonged period of time, which they've in fact said can then lead to it being damaged and it's not going to be useful for proper acupuncture and that sort of thing. Like if you did need it, that area is damaged and it's not going to work because your pressure points are now damaged. So if you did need relief with acupuncture, it probably won't work afterwards, which is probably something to consider as well. If you do get acupuncture, maybe this isn't a good option for you. I guess the main thing to take away from this is do your research if you really are severely suffering with it. It's worth it to try if you've tried everything else. If nothing else is working for you, I guess definitely try it. One thing that people do say though is that they might get one done and it doesn't work, or if it doesn't work they're going to come back and get the other one, and people have done that. They've got one, it didn't work, they come back and get the other one, and then it does work or it doesn't. Like it's so hard to tell person to person. That's why it's like going to a piercer to talk to them about something that is more of an internal problem. We're not medical professionals, so it's really advised to go and speak to a doctor or something about it. Having suffered them myself, like it's horrible, and if you're suffering them every day for long periods of time and it's what you want to do, then do it. I 100% like do it. Another thing to think about though is just that you will have to then look after the piercings though, and just make sure you're following the instructions and you should be fine.